Welcome to T Boys TV. We are back again with another Hat Show, obviously episode 212. And obviously in this one, we will be talking about Leeds game. I don't know how we're smiling, to be fair, but yeah, just good to be back on talking about it, I guess, even though it was an absolute shower of shite. And then obviously we will get into the Norwich game tomorrow. They don't come any easier today, to be honest, especially the way we're playing. But first of all, Dad, how are you?
Yeah, all good, man. Fresh
Good,
trim.
good. Yeah, fresh trim, come on. Last time I got fresh trim was obviously last week against Hull, and we won that. So, can you bring that luck?
Trim vibes.
Yeah, exactly. Rob Edwards had a fresh trim himself, didn't he? And we beat Hull. So, I don't know. I'm just trying to say random stuff now, but yeah, obviously we'll get into it. So, took on Leeds during the week. I did decide to obviously go to it last minute. Again, for me at the moment, guys, it's just to tick these stadiums off, to be fair. It's not even like, obviously I support the boys in that, but, I'm just not confident going into a lot of games at the moment. And the Leeds game, I mean, the lineup, there was a few things we looked at, like always, and, it was worrying, really. I mean, no Walsh, all right, we didn't expect him to start, but expected him to be involved. He wasn't. The standout, I guess, was probably Moses coming in. Again, I sort of get it because he's got that experience, but as a wing back, not so sure. We've seen in especially the Oxford game, he was quite, weren't great defensively in that game. Again, we want to see him higher up, but it's just not going to happen. And you look at how well Hashioka's done. I don't know how, like since that Watford game, I don't know how he's not starting in these games. But the whole lineup was obviously Kaminsky in goal, Bell, McGuinness, and Mengi, which obviously meant Bell was the left centre back in this game. Again, with Doughty out, surely you'd utilise him as the winger or the wing back. Sorry, Burke on the right wing back. Again, that happened against Hull. He's not good as a wing back. Yes, he's good at going forward and that, but not as a wing, player. That's more of a centre back that's good at going forward from the middle in that sense. And then obviously we had Nakamba, Kraus, and Clark. I'll be honest, I was happy to see Nakamba and Kraus starting together because I've wanted to see that more, especially in away days. But Clark, not for me. I feel Chong should have been involved ahead of him. He had a suspension. He shouldn't be just coming back in and starting, in my opinion. He shouldn't warrant that, to be honest. He's been poor this season. Like, let's be honest. Yeah, he's got a few goals, but the Watford one was a lucky goal. Let's just be real with it. Middlesbrough one, I mean, I think the keeper should have done better, to be honest. It didn't matter, did it? We were X amount of goals down anyway. And then obviously Brown and Morris up front. I mean, that was good. That was good to see them too. It felt Elijah needed that, that bench sort of moment. Like Morris had a lot since his time at Luton last season and this season. So I was happy in that sense, but the bench was an interesting one as well. Obviously, with players being out, obviously Elijah was there, Baptiste was there. Again, another player you could argue should have started, ahead of Clark. Chong, obviously, like I said, Hashioka, Holmes, Krul, Ruddock, Taylor, and Woodrow. So, Woodrow actually was on the bench. I don't think he was, but he actually was on the bench, which was interesting because, you wouldn't have thought that with Taylor coming on before him. But yeah, I mean, a few things that were a bit, I guess, annoying again in the lineup, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah, a little bit. Well, when it comes to them starting, yeah, because initially we presumed Bell would be on the left and Moses on the right. That's what I thought was happening. But yeah, Burke. I don't know what Hashioka. Maybe it's because he's been away on international duty. I know other players have and that, but they'll react in different ways. Maybe there's a bit of that. Yeah, he did come on, I think.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Moses hadn't played for a while, just trying to freshen up things. But for me, Baptiste should have started. Clark, he's almost a shoe-in just as much as Taylor's a shoe-out, you know what I mean? So going forward, I'm like kind of including him in my squads because I just think that he's going to be starting. He has got. He's done. To be fair, we criticise him in that because we know he's not that great defensively. You know, he's not top tier Championship, but you know, he has contributed more than other players. He scored a few goals. He nearly got an assist in the last game. You know, he's done more than other players. I'm not that, you know, let's have it right. I can see why he does start him sometimes, you know what I mean? Or most of the time. And then, yeah, with the striker, it was it up front, Morris and Brown, wasn't it? And yeah, I wanted to see Brown. I thought he could good, but they just didn't get any service anyway. That's the main thing. But yeah, strong enough bench. You know, not majorly different from what we would have said, but it, like I say, when they actually started, then you put Bell in centre. I just wouldn't have done that. You know, Holmes could have started there. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Especially with Holmes, you know how he's been decent since he's come in. You know, he's had a few wobbly moments, but predominantly he's been very good. And Bell, you know, especially with Doughty being out, you just thought we'd utilise, you know, putting Bell there as that wing back, to be honest. But obviously we didn't. But going into the game, now on the coach, they always ask minute of the goal in your score prediction, right? Obviously I said 3-1, so I said us to get a goal. But I actually said 10th minute, they're scoring, and they actually did. It was an awful, terrible start, really. I was obviously watching it with Mike, as you guys will know if you see the vlog. And it was one where it was too easy for them to get in behind. You know, I said going into the game, I said it all season when we come up against Leeds, them wide players will exploit us. You know, because yes, they're quality, but at the same time, we give them way too much space. You know, the whole game, they didn't even have to get out second gear, get into first gear, sorry. You know, they were chilling. It was like a training session for them. It was embarrassing. It was like every single away game that I've been to pretty much this year. It was just abysmal. You know, it was worse than Sheffield United because we conceded another goal, but it's a very similar performance. You know, lackluster, you know, and it was just nothing was going on. You know, from our end, we were sloppy in possession. There was a moment where, you know, we got a free kick in the first half, and then Bell took it quickly and just rushed it. Why? What are we doing? Relax. Like, we're not trying to chase 2 goals. You know, it's not like when we played Nottingham Forest last year in the Premier League, for example, the 2-2 draw where we're trying to get goal. I understand it then. Do you know what I mean? But in this game, yes, all right, you know, if Leeds get the first goal, it's going to give them the momentum and that. But we were rushing things when we were getting the ball. It was so sloppy. It was so easy for them to get out wide. And the goals we conceded in this game, I mean, the third one was a quality goal, don't get me wrong, you know, by Dan James. But the way they got in was too easy. You know, it's not acceptable. And it's like we've been saying, you know, where is that fight and that determination? Like the Blackpool game, for example, when we won 1-0, you know, how hard we fought to get that win. You know, where are them type of performances? It's not good enough. You know, it's just not good enough. You know, and they got the goal, the first goal. I mean, I'll be honest, I think Mengi should have done better. You know, not just him, but I do think he should have done better. And I didn't like the way, obviously I like to see the passion, but I didn't like the way he's throwing his arms about all over the place. Like, you should be doing better there for me. You know, I'll be honest. Obviously he's had a lot of criticism, you know, whether his heart is, you know, his determination is at the club, which I think the whole game he was brilliant. But this game, I don't think it was great. I don't think Burke was great, but again, he's playing as a wing back. But it's just a frustrating goal. Again, Kaminsky, could he have done anything? Probably not, in my opinion. And yeah, we felt, you know, especially me and Mike, with how we started, it was going to be a long day. And a lot of the Luton, or night, shall I say, a lot of Luton fans thought that around me. But it was just, it was awful, wasn't it, Dad?
Yeah, the problem is they're not fighting. They're not. You know, even Leeds are a very good team. They are, and I'd say they're going to win the league. You know, they're switched on. They've kept a lot of the players they had last season. You know, signed a couple of technical players, passing it around freely. You know, we just weren't getting into them. We were doing better than that in the Premier League. You know, putting it on, and that, I believe that's what he was supposed to do. You know, I have no idea why they didn't. It's very telling for me. You know, but the quality, you let a team that's flying, they're top of the league, they're at home, you're just backing off them and just not really showing enough, then obviously they're going to end up scoring.
Yeah, they did. And it was too easy. Like I say, it was way too easy for them. I look at it and I just think, well, that was like Sheffield United away. Yes, Plymouth away was awful, but at least we had a 15-minute spell where we actually done all right. Them two games, awful. Yes, them teams are good, but we should be competing with them. We've still got a good enough squad. It's just not acceptable. Not at all. Especially fans that travel that way during the midweek. I know people around me that had work the next day. Obviously, I booked it off for me, but it's just disgusting. To play like that. If we give a performance and we narrowly lost, I'll be like, okay, fair enough. It's Leeds. You can accept it. But it's like Stephen says here, and I've been saying it since the whole game. They didn't even have to get out first gear. I said it to you on the phone on the way back, Dad. It was just disgusting. It's like we were playing Man City, in the way of we just sat back and just let them do their thing. But not even Man City right now, because they're not great, are they, at the moment? But it just weren't good enough at all. But we'll go through some comments before we get into the rest of the game. Big up to Spencer in the chat. Big up to yourself, mate. Obviously, big up to Stephen. He says big up to both of us. Big up to yourself, mate. Jackie, good to see Jackie in the chat. Says hi. Ty does. It was absolute garbage and lackluster. Yeah, exactly what is said in the vlog. Shout out to everyone that watched the vlog, by the way. That's the most viewed vlog now on the channel. So that's good. That I've hit that milestone. But yeah, the actual game it was just shocking. We didn't perform at all. Like, we expected a heavy defeat, both of us, because we just know what it's like, and the majority of you guys obviously did as well. But it's just the fact that we're just not, away from home, right? I look at it, right? The year before, when we were in the Championship, we were so good away. We would just grind out them results, even under Rob Edwards. Towards the second half of the season, we'd get, we didn't really blow teams away, but we'd get, comfortable 2-0 wins, like Wigan away. I know they were awful that year, but, Wigan away, we'd get a few 1-0 away wins, and we'd just grind out. We'd have a little bit of pressure, because you'd expect that, because they're the home side. But then we just wouldn't, we'd still grind out that result. Now, it's so easy for teams to play a ball over the top or out wide, especially Leeds. You cannot do that against them. We've got all them, quality players out wide. And even their bench, they'll definitely go up in some sort of way, whether that's the league, second, or playoffs again. But yeah, I was even looking at their depth on their bench, to bring on Dan James. I think it's quality. I think he should be starting a lot more. And obviously they've got Bamford as well, who's very experienced at this level. They got a quality bench. So yeah, it was just frustrating. We were just giving them too many opportunities, really, and sloppy in possession. Yet get similar to Hull. There's no excuses for that game. The weather was nowhere near as bad. It was terrible. It was so bad. I mean, I could believe it, because that's what majority of away games I've been to have been like. But it's just I don't know. I don't know, man. But yeah, let's go through some more comments. Shout out to Darth Vader. Thank you again, mate. It was obviously good to see you at the Leeds game. I watched United last night, and the way they conceded 2 goals reminded me of the way we concede goals. I can understand why they conceded the goals, because new system, new manager. But what's our excuse? Exactly, mate. And it's like I say, you go back to the season where we went up, away, we would just, like I say, we weren't blowing teams away, but we were getting good wins. Do you know what I mean? Like 1-0 win, 2-0 wins, but we looked majority comfortable, in the games that we just grind out a win like that. I know we didn't have Rob Edwards, but that Blackpool game, Dad, for example, where is that type of fight? Yeah, we saw it to a certain extent against Hull. But again, it's not good enough. Hull had great opportunities. If they weren't as bad as they were, they would have scored. Let's just be real with it. Or if they had their striker fit, that's better than the one they had, they would have scored. It's just a fact and a reality. We haven't looked good in any of the games bar Watford, in my opinion. So it's just frustrating. But yeah, no, we ain't got an excuse, mate. We haven't. So yeah. We are so disjointed. It's shocking that this manager has been working with this group of players. I mean, there is obviously other things, people saying, he hasn't been backed fully and that. I mean, I sort of hear that, but then again, his in-game management is not good enough. There's always one player starting that just shouldn't be starting. You know, I like Reece Burke, but he should not be playing as a wing back. Like, what is that all about? And then Clark, right? He got suspended. In my opinion, he shouldn't have the luxury, I guess, is the right word, to just come straight back in. He shouldn't have that for me. You know, you got suspended, so that should be your punishment. You know, it's not. Yes, he's had his moments, you know, where he has actually scored that, like you said, that. But you know, we know we're going to play him in centre midfield, and he's not. He's not. I wouldn't say he's awful there, but he's not consistent. You know, he has had good games there. Not really this season, but before. But right now, it's not the answer. It's just not the answer. You've got Baptiste there. You got, well, he might be out tomorrow, but you got Krause. You got Nakamba. You know, Walsh is out, but you have got other options. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, and Chong in the cam. You know, put Chong in the cam. Why was he on the bench? I don't understand. Yeah, so there we go with that. When it comes to that, yeah, I mean there is that as well, isn't it? You know, we've got such a losing mentality, like in the sense of we concede a goal and heads drop. You know, it's like that again the other night. And it's just like frustrating, man, because you know we did have chances against Leeds. As much as we were terrible, we actually had some great opportunities. You know, I think 2 or 3 times we thought we scored when we didn't. You know, obviously I'll get into them. You know, the Burke header, what a cross from Morris, by the way. That was a quality cross. But Burke, he should have either headed it back or he should have done better there. You know, you got a free header, you got to do better there. We thought he was in. I mean, Elijah had a header from the corner in the second half towards us. I mean, a player of his standard should be doing better there, I'll be honest. I think there was another game this season where it was the same. We said the same thing. And then we had another chance. Oh, yeah, the Moses chance where we thought that was in. I mean, he done well there, to be fair. But yeah, I just worry about when teams drive at him because he's not a defensive-minded player. So, you know, it is worrying. So, yeah, man, I have to agree. Darth he also says, I think it's time, Rob, we shouldn't hound him out, but it should be done. I've been backing him this season, even though I don't rate him. I think I've been patient and fair enough. No, I think you have as well. I mean, it's just the in-game management sometimes. That's the frustrating thing for me. You know, don't get me wrong. I feel his subs were decent against Hull. You know, but it just like for me, yeah, in the Leeds game, as soon as Clark got a yellow card, he should have been off. He should have been off. Chong should have been on, and we should have done that. All right, probably wouldn't have made a difference, right? But then again, you know, Chong actually, I felt he done all right when he come on. He tried to do a couple of, you know, driver players and do his usual. But yeah, it's just frustrating. And just sometimes when certain players start, it never really comes off. Like, let's be honest, guys. And even if it does, it's like a narrow 1-0. Like, it's not good enough. Like, it's just not. You know, I wouldn't mind if we got narrow wins and kept winning, but we're not doing that. Do you know what I mean? We're not doing that. I could accept a mid-table season where we're on a rebuild and then try and go up next year, but we're fighting relegation, guys. I'm saying with that squad, it's not good enough. It's just a fact and a reality. He's not good enough. I don't know why people keep dashing out excuses. Like, I'll be honest, right? If you don't want to boo at the end of the game, that's fair enough. Got no problem with that. But don't clap that. But Sheffield United a couple of weeks ago, yeah, we weren't clapping that. You know what I mean? And this was worse, in my opinion. Like, I don't agree with that. You know, if we gave it a go and narrowly lost, then fair enough. I get it in the Premier League. I totally get it because we're playing like better teams. But it's not good enough. It's not good enough. We didn't even compete. And when we did have chances, we fluffed them. You know, let's be honest. It's not good enough, guys. So, yeah, that's that on that. But yeah, I went on for a bit of a while there. But yeah, obviously they got the second goal before half time. You know, me and Mike were saying hopefully we can go in at 1-0. You know, obviously it didn't happen. That was the most frustrating goal, Pirro. I knew he'd score. But at the same time, it was too easy yet again. How are we not clearing that away? Seriously, that's like a goal you concede on FIFA, mate. A rebounded goal. It was just shocking. And yeah, you know, from there on in, you feel it's going to be a long game, don't you, Dad?
Yeah, well, you know, Clark set Moses up. He done well to get the shot away, and I think they half expect. The thing is, Morris and that didn't run into the box as well. Like they probably should have done. It was a great clearance, but they might have put him off a little bit. You know what I mean? And then they've just done some cheeky ball down the left-hand side. You know what I mean? Crossing. They had the chances before that. It was a corner, wasn't it? Second goal. Who missed it? Mengi missed it, I think. And then they're just defending. But Burke, like you're saying about that head. Well, if he weren't playing on the right, it might have been Hashioka, and Hashioka probably would have headed it across goal. If you're playing a defender in an attacking position like that, of course he's not going to make the correct decision. You know what I mean? And then 2-0, and then they were cruising, but maybe if we'd have got one back, they'd have went on more of an attacking thing and that. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. And this is another thing as well, the goal kicks. I have to agree with this. I have to agree with it. It was shocking. Like, we don't even know what to expect. And I'll be honest, I do think Kaminski's distribution has got better over the last couple of weeks. But then again, there's always one game where he flipping takes it out. And I love Kaminski. I think as a shot stopper, he's wonderful. Amount of times he's prevented it from being X amount of goals. But distribution's not great. There's always one time. I think there was twice in about 10 minutes where the ball went out for a throw. But again, I have to agree with you here, Darth Vader, as well. The players, they don't do it. Like, they're not moving. Right? They're not doing anything. They're not even anticipating to try and, say it goes up to them and do something. It's just like, what is going on? Seriously, what is being said to them? I don't understand. And then there's times we're playing this, football out round the back. No, mate. It's not Luton. We don't play like that. What are we doing? What are we doing here? We ain't got the players to do that. That takes if you want to play like that, that takes about 2 or 3 transfer windows. Because you have to get the players in for that. It's not good. It always worries me. I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid to play like that anyway, because you're inviting pressure on from attackers. I don't like anyone that plays that. Unless you've got the quality. But even then, I think it's risky. Like, look at Southampton, bro. Against Liverpool, they were doing that. Are they thick? Do you know what I mean? And that's why they'll go down and all. But yeah, it's just it just annoys me. Exile, good to see you in the chat, mate. Evening, big up to yourself. 3-0 didn't flatter. No, facts. But honestly, if it weren't for Kaminski's couple of saves towards the end, it would have been more. But again, I do worry about its distribution sometimes. I'll be honest. And facts. Again, I agree with this. Wednesday morning was nothing more than a glorified training session, which is disgraceful. It is, because the away games, we've just not turned up. Do you know what I mean? Like, the fans bring it. They always bring it. I'll be honest, guys. I was talking to Mike, right? And then literally we went in there and we kicked off. Do you know what I mean? I'm never late. Not late to a game. I was on time, but actually going to where my seat is, or stand, sorry, because it's an away game. But yeah, flipping hell, we went there, we were singing already. Do you know what I mean? We always bring the support, whether we don't bring loads of numbers or not. The ones that go are loud. Do you know what I mean? We bring the support, we show it. Again, if you don't want to boo, that's fair enough. But I don't agree with clapping that performance. That was disgusting. What is there to clap? Honestly, what is there to clap from the other day? I don't understand. Like, where was the same energy that we had against Sheffield United? And that weren't even deep. We just said Edwards sort it out. I don't want us to go, you mug, and all that. I don't like that. But don't flipping clap that. That was abysmal, mate. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. Honestly, I wanted to stay to see what the reaction was like. I was just going to go out and end the vlog, but I wanted to see what it was like. I couldn't believe it, guys. I could not believe it. And like you say, midweek, Norwich scored 6. Yep. Obviously, Plymouth were terrible away, but so are we. We're actually now 22nd, I believe, in the league when it comes to away form. Like, that's terrible. So Norwich will be full of confidence, mate. Obviously, we'll get into that. Signs is on fire, and there is a really good stat, not from our end, but on Signs later, which I'll get into. So, yeah, just not good enough. But yeah, second half, a lot of Luton fans around me were like, well, the best we'll do is get a goal. Obviously, Hashioka come on for Burke. Obviously, it's come out Burke's injured. Again, I love the guy, but what a surprise. It's just typical. You know, and again, well, there's a couple of reasons for me he's not the best defender. One, because, you know, he's always injured. He can't play. I don't think he's ever played 8 games on the trot for Luton. And second of all, I look at players that can play anywhere across that back three, and he can't do that. He can't play on the left centre back. He can't. You know, I think Mengi is the best one personally, and I know a lot of you agree with that. I know you do as well, Dad. But yeah, Hashioka come on. I mean, he should have started. He did get a yellow card, you know, shortly after that. But again, it was just one of them halves, wasn't it? Where you look at it and you think, well, you knew we weren't going to get anything out of the game. You know, we get a goal at best. Obviously, Taylor come on, which was a surprise. You know, especially Woodrow on the bench. I didn't actually think he was on the bench, but he was. Taylor come on. I mean, that was good to see. I mean, he had one moment where he got a foul. He got a free kick. That he done well there. But other than that, it was a bit difficult for him to get in the game, I felt. Elijah obviously come on as well for Morris, so we changed it up in the attacking sense, which was good. You know, that was good to see. We needed to change it in some sort of way. I think Morris hold-up play was good when he could. You know, that cross was good, but other than that, he was sloppy in possession again, I felt. I'll be honest. And then obviously Clark got the yellow card, 68th minute. From that moment in, he should have went straight off, in my opinion. Bring on Chong. But we didn't. We brought on Baptiste from Nakamba. And then obviously Chong come on a bit later for Moses. And then they got the last goal. I mean, out of all their goals, that was definitely the best finish. However, it was too easy for them to get in behind. And yeah, people, even when Dan James come on, people around me were saying, yeah, he'll score. And I thought he would, you know, because I've always rated him personally. And obviously he did. And yeah, from there on in, we were just hoping that it weren't going to be even worse than that. Wasn't we, Dad?
Yeah. You know, defensively, it's too easy, really. And, you know, quality like that, it's just whatever. I expected it. So.
Yeah, no, it was just terrible. It was just terrible. But yeah, Luton have just tweeted 25% off home shirt because obviously it's Black Friday. So yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to even bother getting a shirt at the moment, then fair enough. But FPNL, I don't think I want to at this rate, to be honest. But yeah, it was just shocking. It was just shocking. Yet again, another terrible away performance. You know, obviously, you know, all the away games I've been to, we lost. We haven't even drawn one. I mean, I was meant to be at the Portsmouth one, but obviously we know didn't wake up in time. But it's just the same story. You know, we don't compete, we don't give it a go, or we give it a go for about 10 minutes, but we didn't even do that against Leeds. And it was just terrible. It was awful. But, you know, I thought Sheffield United was bad out of the games I went to. But that one, flipping hell, Jesus, that was even worse. But yeah, it was just not good enough. So we'll get straight into the player ratings, which is going to be very interesting. Kaminsky, now, like I say, his distribution weren't great. 2 or 3 times the ball went out for a throw. But his shot stopping was good again. You know, especially at the end, he done 2 big saves that prevented it from being more. So for me, I think I'll just go with a standard 6, to be fair.
6.5.
Fair enough. Moving on to Mengi. He weren't great in this game, I'll be honest. The first goal, my personal opinion, I felt he should have done better. So, yeah, for me, I will go with because I expect so much better, I'll go with 5.
6.
Fair enough. McGuinness, he was the better centre-backs for me. In the first half, he was good. There was a moment on the vlog where he won a header. And like I say, aerially, whether it's defensively or, you know, from corners, he does look can't really look dangerous defensively, but he does look good from them. Bar that QPR game, you know, where he let it bounce. But other than that, he's done really well in that scenario. And I felt he'd done okay at that moment. There was a moment where he headed it forward to win it, and then we went on a run. So he was the better one for me out of the centre-backs. So McGuinness, I'll give McGuinness a 6.5.
Yeah, 6.5. He looked, him and in the first half, it was him. I don't know, just him really. 6.5.
Yeah, moving on to Bell again. I think he's okay in centre back. We've said that. He especially the last couple of games, he was decent, but this game he weren't great there. I'll be honest. I didn't like that free kick where we rushed it. Obviously he took it, so I have to say him. It weren't great. It's just what are we doing? Why are we rushing it? We were like flipping 15 minutes in or something. And it was just frustrating. So for me, I'll go for 5.5 for Bell.
Yeah, I'll go 5.5, but I will say that he shouldn't have been. He's not. We know that against lesser teams, he's adapted to in that position. At home, he's adapted to that position against certain teams, but away against the best, he shouldn't have been playing there, in my opinion, as well. Yeah, and it makes you wonder because he got injured in before the last game. Maybe was going to start. Was he going to start and then again there as well? Like he might have been better against Hull, but no, he shouldn't be playing there. Should have been playing on the left.
Yeah, especially when you got Holmes there.
Mengi should have been there.
Holmes is another option, haven't you? Actual centre.
Mm-hmm. So
obviously, I would say Anderson, but he went on the bench.
So I'm going to go 5.5.
Yeah, and it's a weird one with Anderson, isn't it? Sometimes on the bench, sometimes it's not. Like nothing come out about him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he looked good, didn't he, in the Premier League last year? At the start of the season when he played. Obviously, got our first goal at Kenilworth Road as well. Can't forget that. So I don't know. It's a weird one. But yeah, moving on to next player, we'll go over to Burke. Again, difficult. Weren't great, but it's difficult to really be too harsh on him because he shouldn't be playing right wing back. Like, let's just be real. I know I've said about when we had Bree, he was good at going forward on that right, but that's because he got another player there. Do you know what I mean? But by himself, nah, not for me. I'd rather put him in CDM, honestly, than play him on that wing back role. So for me, it's going to sound harsh, but I'm going to have to go for 5.5.
Yeah, same reasons as you. Shouldn't be out of position. Shouldn't have been playing there. And again, against the better teams, it's not going to work.
No, exactly. And then obviously Moses on the left again. Don't want to see him as a wing back, but we expect it. Not on the left though. I'll tell you one thing. I didn't expect it to be on the left. I thought it'd be on the right. So that would work great. Obviously, he had that moment. That was unlucky. Out of all the chances we had, that was unlucky. That was a great bit of defending, to be fair. And he done well to get out of that. Going forward, he looked good. He did look good for us, but it's just a defensive bit of worry. But again, he's not that player, so it's not me criticising him. It's just why do we keep putting him there? When we do put him there, I don't get it. Let him have a free roaming sort of role if you're going to do that, like we did with Chong against West Brom in the second half, for example. So for me, I will go, again, it's going to sound harsh, 5.5.
Yeah, but I feel like he was there to do Doughty's job, but because we didn't play the way he was, instructed to play, apparently, then that's why that didn't work. But, you had a glimpse of it, how it could have worked, possibly. But other than that, nah. Considering when he's come on previous games, he has made an impact, but now he seems to think, this is probably one of the worst teams that he's played for. Do you know what I mean?
Be honest, it's quite mad, actually. It's quite mad the other day because obviously, on Snapchat, you got memories and that. And it was actually, I was watching him play for, I think it's Spartak Moscow, I think it was anyway. I was like, since when does Moses play for them? And then obviously that was like a couple of years ago. And then obviously we got him now. But yeah, it's like Exile Hatter says here, playing a right winger / mid at left wing back is only going to end in disaster. And it's facts. I would use him as an impact player personally, and I've said that on the last couple of hat shows because the Plymouth game, all right, we lost it, but he obviously got the goal. He done well there. The Sheffield Wednesday game is a massive part of going on to win that game. And I think there might have been one more game, but it's just right now you can't put him anywhere. Like, don't put him in a wing back. You can't do that. It's risky. Against Oxford, you see that he's not a defensive minded player, so he's just not good, like you say. So I totally agree with that. Jackie also says, I'll give them all a 5. A couple was okay, but overall toilet. Yeah, facts. Yeah, that's fair enough. Then moving on we'll go to obviously the midfield. We'll start off with Kraus. I mean, individual performances, I felt he was a better player than a lot of the others. Again, I feel sorry for him. There's no way we're getting him on loan if this continues. No chance. But yeah, I felt he was good in the game. He does remind me in glimpses, obviously not the same level, but he does remind me of Ross Barkley, just in the sense of his turn, the way he wins the ball back, passes it and stuff like that. But in this game, like I say, he was one of the better players. So I'll go with 6.5.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6.5 weight. I thought he went too bad. But, the rest of the team needs to be on it for him to be playing at his best.
Yeah, exactly that. And then moving on to Nakamba. Again, I like that Nakamba's been playing a lot recently again. That's good to see. In the game, I don't think he was that great, to be honest. So I'll just go with a 6.
Yeah, 6. Man, I think but I don't think he'll be starting tomorrow now. I think he's played a lot of football recently, and I think he might be dropped or put on the bench anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, for me, it all depends on what happens with Kraus. Obviously, we're gonna assess him. Is what they said basically. So we'll see. But if he's not in, then yeah, I could see Nakamba coming in. But if he's not, if Kraus is available, then yeah, I could see Nakamba going to the bench. But moving on to the next player, which was Clark. Again, like you said, he did nearly get that assist, for Moses, which eye for pass is good, but actually having him in the middle, I don't know, man. I just don't think he should have warranted a start after getting suspended. Personally, Chong should have been in. Chong's been on better form, especially in that cam role. We both wanted to see that going into this game. So for me, he got that yellow card as well, which I was frustrated with. So for me, I'm going to go for 5.
Yeah, I think we went 5 in midfield and just 2 up front. That's why Chong possibly, I get it, but he's not. Yeah, he's good going forward. If we go forward, but if we're not, then he's not that effective, really. So I'll just go for 6.
Yeah, and then moving on we'll go over to Brown. I mean, there was a moment where, it's actually when we had that header. Burke had that header. It all started from Brown, driving forward. Another reason I wanted him to start in this game, because obviously he's a Yorkshire lad, so he had that extra determination to do well on top of his decent form that he's had for Luton recently. He tried, like you said, Dad, it was a bit difficult for them because they weren't getting a lot of service because we were just so sloppy in possession. But Brown, I think it was quite harsh to go too low on him, so I'll just go for 6.
Yeah, I'm just going to give him a 6. I'm going to give Morris a 6 as well because they both really didn't get much service, to be honest. They tried, but they didn't really get much service. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean Morris. Yeah, like I say, other than that cross, his passing still wasn't great, but his hold-up play was good. When he did have it, which was obviously rare. So yeah, I agree. I'll go for 6 as well. And then moving on to the players that come on. Obviously, Hashioka. Well, he got a yellow card. I think I should go for standard 6. Should have started.
I was more confident with him in that position. But, the game was not done, but we just carried on from where we left off in the first half. Do you know what I mean? So he weren't able to do a hell of a lot, but he didn't really do much wrong, not bothered about the yellow card. I'll just give him a 6.
Yeah, fair enough. Taylor come on. Again, he had that moment, didn't he, where he obviously got fouled, done well to try and get past their players and earn the free kick. But yeah, it was a difficult one because, they weren't getting service. Then again, he actually got a decent amount of time, didn't he? Half hour. So I don't know. I think I'll just go for 6.
Yeah. Just I thought he only come on because Woodrow weren't on the bet, but you know what I mean. But
Yeah, same. I thought he was.
come on. For me, it doesn't prove anything. Like he's not good enough or anything like that. You know, Elijah was worse when he come on. And again, we just weren't getting service, so you can't really be too harsh on him. So I'm just going to give him 6. He was chasing the ball and trying to make things happen, but
Yeah, no, I have to agree. And then moving on to next player, obviously Elijah. I mean, he had that header, which for me, he should be doing better. He should. It would have made a difference, but still, he should be doing better. So, I don't know, difficult one. Service, again, non-existent. Trying to get the service, as in like them playing it up to him. So for me, you know what? I'm going to have to go with 5.5. Because that header, it did annoy me a little bit.
It was only on for half an hour and pretty ineffective, really.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Obviously, we're still chanting his name and that. We were when he come on. It was good to see. That's one thing I like to see about us, right? Even when we were like playing so bad, the fans, when it comes to the atmosphere, still do give it. Chong come on as well. And obviously he got the Chong too. But obviously they don't like him. So obviously he played for United and that. Saying a few things about him and that. But I mean, he tried when he come on. He did try. I think he earned a free kick. Chain of surprise. He's definitely our most fouled player. So for me, Chong, I'll give Chong a 6.
Yeah, I'll give him a 6. He looked like he should have probably started, like you say. Because he runs at players more than anyone else does. Regardless, he will always.
Is he a player we've got in our team that will physically run at someone other than maybe Moses?
Can, but they're just not. Whereas he will just do it every game. So
yeah,
I'll give him a 6.
And then obviously a couple of minutes before, I haven't missed him out, guys. Baptiste, which again, arguably could have started. I think he tried in the game. He's done well when he's come on in games. He's tried to do stuff, but just with how we were, it didn't really work. So I'll just go for 6.
I'll give him a 6.5. I thought he looked really good when he come on. I'm getting pissed off now that he's not starting. Do you know what I mean? I think he's fit enough and able enough to start. He had that shot. I think he created chances. He was winning.
The first shot we had on target or something.
You know what I mean? And I like him. I think he needs to be fucking starting. I'll give him 6.5.
Other than the Moses chance, it was the first shot we had on target.
15 minutes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we were chanting, we had a shot. Do you know what I mean? It's like you had your first flipping drink. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, this is terrible. But yeah, he did. And then I think Elijah might have had a chance after that. But yeah, no, he did try. And he always does well when he come on. Even in that Sheffield United game, he done well when he come on in that game. Cardiff, obviously, he went in the cam role. So again, he's another option that you can put there. But yeah, overall, lackluster, crap, awful training ground game for Leeds, really. There's nothing else to really say on it. I've had a few Leeds fans saying to me, we were one of the worst teams to go there. And I have to agree, bruv. I have to agree. We were shocking. We were absolutely shocking, mate. Didn't even try and go at them. It was awful. It was awful. So yeah, that's enough said on it. Obviously, I've said quite a lot anyway, as you lot will know. But Dad, do you want to say anything else on it?
No.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But yeah, let's get straight into the game tomorrow. So obviously we're away again against Norwich this time. Oh, a couple of weeks ago, obviously I'm still dreading this game, but a couple of weeks ago I'd have been even more dreading it. Obviously had that amazing record at unbeaten in a year. Obviously that did end to Bristol City, a team that I got high expectations for this season. But I don't know, they're still looking good, man. They're still looking good. Sainz is on fire. We're awful away. Like I say, we dropped down to 22nd now on away form. They are, I think they're, where are they in the league? I think they're like 10th. Yeah, 10th. 22 points. I mean, if they won, they could go up to 8th, depending on what Blackburn and Millwall do. And then as for us, if we did win, it wouldn't really make a difference. So we could maybe go as 15th. I mean, we're sitting 16th because our goal difference is terrible. Stoke have got a -1 goal difference. We've got -11. That is shocking. That is actually shocking. So yeah, it's not good. So yeah, a draw. Well, we'd stay where we are unless other teams won. We could go a lower. It's mad, guys. It's just crazy. But insight, like we always do. Norwich City have won 3 of their last 4 home league games against Luton, but lost 1-0 against them in the most recent meeting. Obviously, that was a good away day. I remember doing a watch along to that. 1-0, Morris, very good goal, obviously against former club. Luton Town are looking to win 3 consecutive league games against Norwich for the first time since winning 5 in a row between 1921 and 1924, a very long time ago. Norwich City have won just 4 of their last 12 league games, drawing 5, losing 3. But the Canaries have scored 3+ goals in each of those wins, beating Plymouth 6-1 last time out. Luton Town have won 4 of their last 7 league games played on a Saturday, losing 3, having won just 1 of their previous 14 such matches across the Premier League and Championship. I mean, that's not a bad stat, considering how we've actually done this season. And then obviously, Norwich City's, this is the signed stat I wanted to read out, is the leading top scorer in England's 4 tiers this season, 14 goals, already netting 2 hat-tricks. The last Norwich players to hit 2 trebles in a league campaign, Simeon Jackson and Grant Holt, both in 2010 to 11. So, yeah, the guy's on fire, mate. Who needs Sargent when you got Signs doing what he's doing? But yeah, obviously they responded well, Norwich, obviously after being winless in 7 games with that win against Plymouth. Team news for us, Burke will miss out. Again, like I said earlier, it's typical, isn't it, really? Due to a quad injury, apparently. Liam Walsh, who did not feature, is out with a hamstring issue. And then obviously Doughty and Real Walker still out as well. A bit more on Norwich. Like I said, they went over a year without defeat at Carrow Road before Bristol City beat them. A loss to the Robins seemed to spark the Canaries into gear, playing out a thrilling 2-2 draw at West Brom before hammering at the expense of Plymouth. Signs is on fire. Got a hat-trick against Plymouth. Taking up his total to 14 goals, like I said. He got voted Championship Player of the Month in September, has already beat his career high for goals scored in one season, which was 10. Just mad. Obviously, last time we met, we beat them 2-1. Woodrow actually scored a winner. I remember that game again, another watch-along that was for me. The referee in this game will be Josh Smith. 63 yellow cards and 1 red card have been handed out by Smith across his 15 games this season. Last time we had him was when we beat Millwall 1-0. So, can we have any luck? Do you know what I mean? Well, I don't know. Probably not. But yeah, so that's that when it comes to that. So, how are you feeling going into this game, guys?
I just feel that they're not in great form overall, but at home they're pretty strong. They're gonna, I don't think they're as good as Leeds. They're not as consistent, but they're certainly, established, and they're a team that could make a run and get in the playoffs, or even better if their players stay fit. They've got a couple of, definitely ex-Luton player.
Max Aarons.
No.
Jack Stacey.
Jack Stacey, who's been playing really well for him. So it's going to be interesting. We've got the Morris factor. Morris will definitely be turning up against them, but I feel I still think there's a massive issue away, and I think there's a massive issue internally now. Watford, the players probably more done that for the fans. But since then, we're not. There's just certain things that just doesn't sit right. I do think there'll be a better performance. We will go at them more.
I hope so.
I think that you can hurt them if you go at them a bit, but I just feel that they've got at the moment they're formed, that they're strikers and that are in. They should be able to beat us, and then potentially, that could be the straw that broke the camel's back last game for Rob Edwards, because the away form, and it's not improved, is it? And you can't not having the lead. You ain't got. You got. Yeah, if we get a result, particularly if we get a win, then obviously that'll give him more time. Yeah, but it's going to be interesting to see how the players react. Like I say, we got a score. We could put a team out. We could put a decent team out. That let's be honest, pretty much. But I can't see it. Again, I can't see it. The team that we beat them with when we was in the conference will probably have a better chance. You know what I mean? Right. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm not feeling that confident, and a lot of fans are not at the end of the day. So we're, happy to be proved wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it'll be
there is shocks. There's always a shock in the weekend. Like, I don't know, someone beats someone you don't expect, especially in the championship. But we just can't see it, can we? Really, you like say with their attack. Well, Signs, not even just their attack as a whole, just Signs. He's just on fire. We can't defend properly. Yeah, we've got a few clean sheets in recent games, but they're not great opposition, guys. Like, let's not get it twisted. Yeah, Cardiff are not great. Hull at this moment in time are not great. Whoever comes in might change that. But right now they're terrible. And they are golden chances. Not necessarily Cardiff, but Hull definitely did. So
best team we've beat is Millwall.
Yeah. Definitely.
Everyone else we have beat is we as a squad we are better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. So
yeah, no, absolutely. A few people putting their score predictions already. Obviously, do obviously put yours in if you haven't already. We'll obviously get into our lineups now. So both gone different this weekend. Obviously, we will start off with mine for this weekend. So this is what I've gone with. So I've gone Kaminsky in goal. Goes without saying. My back three, I've got Mengi on the right.
That's mine.
Goes back to what I say. Oh yeah, that is yours actually. Either way, I've got Mengi anyway. It goes back to what I say. He is the best defender in my opinion because he can play anywhere across that back three. I don't feel, even if he is available, I don't feel Burke can do that. You saw that against Burnley in the Premier League. So I'll go with Mengi. I'll go Holmes on the left. I feel he deserves to play, especially with now Burke out. Who else is there? You don't know if Anderson's going to be on the bench. And even then, I think Holmes is slightly ahead of him at the moment. So I'll go with Holmes. McGuinness in the middle, that goes without saying. And then the left wing back, I've gone Bell there. I just want to see him there. I feel he'd be better there in this game. Hashioka on the right, he has to be in. If he's not in, then I don't know, guys. I don't know at this point. You've got Real Wolves out. He's the only other right wing back at the club who's done well since he's coming in since the Watford game. Why is he not starting? I don't understand. I think he's a confidence player as well. And you just need to be starting him for me. He's done well. He has done well, to be fair to him. Midfield, I've gone Baptiste and Nakamba. Obviously, Kraus is 50-50 at the moment. So I'm basing it on it if he's not available. I feel you have to go with one of the CDMs. You can't go Clark and Baptiste for me. That's too attacking. It don't work. Yeah, you see that against Middlesbrough. It did not work, right? So I'll go with Nakamba in there, especially the fact he's been playing a lot. However, if Kraus is in, I wouldn't mind seeing Baptiste and Kraus in the middle. Baptiste deserves to start, like you've been saying, Dad. I agree. He's always done well when he's come on in games, and also when he's started games, he's good. Set pieces as well at this moment in time. He is that main guy without he being out. Chong in the cam. I want to see Chong start. It probably will be Clark, but I want to see Chong start. He's the only player in our team other than Moses, but Moses can't really do it where he's playing, even though he did to a certain extent the other day. They can drive at players, and give it a go and show that. I mean, Brown probably could as well, to be fair, but, out of the other players that are not strikers, they're the two, aren't they? So I'd start Chong. And then I would go with Brown and Morris up front. Again, I would put Elijah to the bench, didn't we? Well, he had that chance, didn't he? And he should be doing better. So I'd keep him on the bench. Brown, it could make an impact in this game, if we are to get a goal. And then Morris, obviously, against his former club, isn't it? And obviously, he did score last time out at Carrow Road against them as well. So, and he is the captain. So, I'll stick with that when it comes to that. But yeah, that's my lineup going into this game. As for your lineup, Dad, there you go.
So obviously, back three: Mengi, McGuinness, and Holmes. You know, I don't want to see Bell there. I want to see Bell on the left wing. You know, he's played there before, maybe not so much under Rob Edwards, but he for as a club and Nathan Jones, he's played in that position before we even got Doughty, and he was effective in that position. Hashioka, initially I thought maybe he could be starting. He could be starting in the back position, and Mengi be starting instead of Holmes, because obviously you know, if Anderson's not, we've got to have some defenders on the bench. But I'm starting Hashi. Baptiste, well, we're starting. I've gone with Clark because I feel like Lakamba's going to be rested. He's played like 90 minutes in a row or something like that. I just think he's gonna rest him. Obviously, Clark had that suspension, and like I said, Clark's like a shoe-in really under Rob Edwards. And you know, if we do play attacking, then he is more effective. Do you know what I mean? If we don't have a lot of defending to do, then you know. So I think that he probably will start. And you know, and he'll probably take corners and stuff like that as well. You've got to be putting Chong back there, I think, because he's dangerous. And then I'm going to stick with the main front two. Morris has to start for me. You know, against his former club, he'd be well up for it, and I think he works best alongside Elijah. You know, we've been chopping and changing, but you know, maybe start Elijah in this game and see if we can cause them problems. So yeah.
No, it's interesting. You've always got that debate now with Brown doing, you know, well between them strikers. You know, Morris is probably a shoe-in because he's the captain. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Not to say I can see Clark being in. I just worry a little bit. Obviously, like I say, about him in centre midfield, but we shall see. But is that time, Dad? Score predictions. Obviously, last time out, I didn't expect you to say that, but given what you're saying, another heavy defeat.
I don't know. I think that some of the players out there, I mean, you know, we don't know that there's stuff behind the scenes that you don't see. Some of them players might have wanted that move away. You know what I mean? And now it's going to January, they could still be looking at it. Do you know what I mean? So in that respect, they might perform better. Some of them, you know, they should perform better anyway for the club, for the fans, etc. But I've seen it over the years before when you're in a certain position. We are too good to go down. I'll tell you that. We are. But you know, that's based on not getting any injuries as well. But I think it'll be a better performance, I do. But I still think we'll come up short because of the form that their attackers are in. And they'll probably score low on. So I'm going to go 2-1 Norwich.
Fair enough. Closer game. I'm going to go exactly what I said against Leeds, and that is a 3-1 defeat. I was thinking 3-0, but I do back us to get a goal. I wouldn't even be surprised if we go 1-0 up and then just get absolutely bad, to be quite honest with you. Signs will definitely score a goal. You know, might even score 2 or 3, to be honest, with the form that he's on. But, yeah, just not confident, really. No, overall, they've only lost once in the last year at home. It's just remarkable, really. So, yeah, that's my predictions there. When it comes to that, so not very good. Not very good. We're both going for defeats, as you would expect, given the form that we're on. Other predictions, Paul's gone 5-1 Norwich. I mean, you wouldn't even be surprised, would you, really? To be honest. They have slumped a few teams at home as well. Obviously, their last one, they slumped Hull 4-0 as well. I know you would say we're better than them teams, but still, we're not far away from being as bad. Yeah, beat Watford. Yeah, exactly. Watford, that was another one. Yeah, that was good because that's the day we beat Sheffield Wednesday, wasn't it? So that was good that we actually won. They didn't. But yeah, that's fair enough, mate. I can't argue with that. 4-0, Jackie says. And you know Jackie said on the last one she just wants to back the team. But
I'll tell you what, if it is that scoreline or worse, that surely will be his last game.
You'd think so. Well, I just don't know. I just know it'd be like
I would pretty much say so.
At this rate, I think we have to be rock bottom of the league to push the button. Honestly, the way we're going on, it's mad. And I don't want to see again, if you don't want to boo, I understand that, innit? Like, you back the team and that. But at the same time, do not clap tomorrow if we don't even compete. And I will be there, but I'll not be clapping. Because if we don't compete. If we compete, fair enough. But I don't understand it. Because where was the same energy that we had for Sheffield United away? I don't get it. I don't understand. But, yeah. 3-1 Norwich. Again, same as me. Can't argue with that. I've had enough of him. I have to agree. Again, we want the guy to succeed. He's a nice guy. He's had to deal with what he's had to deal with at the football club, with the Lockyer situations and that. But his in-game management is shocking. It is shocking. Let's be honest. There's always someone starting that should not be starting. And you can't tell me it comes off. Because even when it does come off, it's not convincing. Right? I could accept, like I said, me personally, and we could still get mid-table, but it's looking very unlikely. I could accept a mid-table rebuild season going into this season, then try and build on that and go up next year. Or try and go up anyway. But it's the fact we're fighting relegation with that squad. It's just not good enough. Let's be real, guys. It's just not good enough. And like you said, that the only good win was the Watford game. But it's like you said, because the players would have been up for it for the fans. That is it. There's no other good win. Millwall, we were lucky. If we didn't have Kaminsky, we would have lost that game. Let's just be real with it. Or, no, sorry, not lost it. We drew it. He'd done 2 world-class saves. What other games that we won? Sheffield Wednesday, all right, fair enough. That was a quality on our bench, which won that game. What other games have we won? Hull, they had golden opportunities. It's not good. It's just not good, guys. And I wouldn't mind, if we don't play great, but we win like 3 games on a bounce. That would be all right. I'll be like, okay, because, that gets you up the table in the Championship, especially this year, how tight it is. It's tight every year. This year, even newly promoted teams are on like 17 points already or higher. I think Derby on like 20, already. So it's just frustrating. So yeah, and that's the thing, Jackie. That's another thing which we have to be honest. It doesn't get you far, especially in a sport like football. I'm sorry, it doesn't. You need to show that ruthlessness, and he did to a certain extent at the whole game, because I was at that game. He was proper shouting at players and that, which is good to see, because usually it's the assistant or other coaches doing it. But I have to agree, the post-match, yes, it's on you, whatever, you're the manager. But don't call out the players directly. I don't want to see that. But call them out as a team for the crap performance that we keep getting. And blame yourself for the decisions that you made, mate, if you want to. That's fair enough. But don't, it's just like sort of Nathan Jones, I liked his ruthlessness. Whether you liked his in-game tactics or whatever towards the end of his time, we would not lose like this consistently. We just wouldn't. It's just not good enough. At least he would call out stuff for what it is. Rob Edwards just sort of brushes it aside and goes, on to the next. The audacity from the football club yesterday to put on to the next. Like we're going to do something against Norwich. We're not doing nothing. I'm sorry, we're not. It's just a fact and a reality. It's not going to change straight away. It's just not. I don't like going off like this, but it's not good enough, guys. And we know this. And that's why I like you guys in the chat. Do you know what I mean? Subscribers only, so I don't have to deal with helmets chatting absolute rubbish on TikTok. How can you say Rob Edwards out? People that don't even support Luton. What are you chatting, bro? Yeah, we're crap. But anyway, that's enough said from me. Anything else you want to say, Dad?
Yeah, I'll give Morris the goal.
Oh, yeah, sorry, goal scorers. Yeah, Morris, Yeah, I was thinking Morris. I'm thinking Brownlow. Now, do you know what? I'll go Chong. To get our goal if he starts. But yeah, we shall see. Like I say, guys, I will be at the game. I mean, if I'm going to be totally real with you guys, the only reason I want to go is to tick it off. Obviously, I want to support the boys, but I'm not confident whatsoever, to be honest. So yeah, I'll be there. So obviously, there'll be a vlog. I'll try and do a reaction. It's a bit difficult because obviously I was with Mike at Leeds, and basically he went quite early. I'll be honest, because one, he needed the toilet, and two, how bad we were playing. And I tried to see him after, but he already went because there was a couple of them that wanted to go in the city centre because that's where he was staying. He'd stayed there for the night. So, yeah, but hopefully I'll see him tomorrow. We'll try and get something done quickly. And then obviously I'll try and do something myself. But if not, obviously stay tuned for the vlog. There'll definitely be a vlog out to that. So check that out. And then, yeah, we'll do a hat show at some point, probably on Sunday or Monday to get into this game. And then we can go straight into the Swansea game next Friday. So it may be a new manager by then. Maybe. Who knows? We shall see it. It all depends on the result tomorrow. If we lose emphatically, like I say, that I could see it. If give it a go, I don't think so. But then again, that is more tolerable because we actually performed. So, yeah, we shall see. But any final things you want to say on anything, Dad?
No, that's it.
Cool. That is it. So, yeah, man, big up to everyone that tuned in. Smash a like if you haven't already. Like I say, shout out to everyone that has watched the vlog. It's officially now the most viewed vlog ever on the channel. So, yeah, big up, guys. When I last looked, it was on 4.8k views. 4.9k now. Obviously new subscribers from that as well. So that's always great. Like I say, there'll be another one out tomorrow. So check that out. And, yeah, follow me across all my socials. Links to them are obviously all in the description. Smash a like on the stream if you haven't already. Do subscribe. Subscribe to my extra channel as well. Link to that is in the description. And yeah, until tomorrow, from me, we shall see what happens. But yeah, until then, take care and peace.
Peace.